What is this place?
It's called Pearland. Yeah.
That's how it is. Here we go. Hi. Once upon a groove on an old soul tune. I watch the pin move to shape the breakthrough. Who makes moves, maneuver in the right direction? The rest of you get left behind and messed up in the session. I'm not trying to make a difference. Maybe some pocket change. I'm content with the boom.
Welcome everyone to Drunkcast Live.
Hey!
188. Woohoo! On the big board. Bing. I'm Travis.
I'm Dylan.
Our podcast that likes to take place in bars and restaurants and have interesting conversations with friends we know or friends we haven't met yet. Comedians, musicians, whatever we can find. We like to do it here at Don's Depot. And when we get those people, we'd like to have good conversation. Like we have Dylan Canfield over here on the left-hand side.
Hello.
We call him Billy.com.
Billy.com. Or Canfield.
Nope. There's no or. No, we're sticking with one. So our listeners specifically don't want to try to remember.
It's getting confusing.
It is. Yeah.
We're simplifying
We're just trying to simplify things.
.com.
.com. Across from me, we have Adam McWaters.
Hello. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet me. It's very nice to meet us.
We're the best.
Meet the meat.
Meet the meat. Our meat is best. What's everyone been up to?
Playing that No Man's Sky.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are we going to talk about...
Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Probably.
We did a lot of talking about that already.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that happened too. You were there.
We'll get into that. I need a couple more drinks before I talk about how upsetting that movie was.
Yeah, I'm really curious when we get there because I know how much you love your comic movies.
Well, yeah.
And to see you publicly say the things you said means it must have been a real treat.
Oh, it was.
And I mean treat.
Treat.
Yeah, like the knockoff Spam.
Yeah.
Not even as good as FUD. But yeah, we'll get to that at least in the second.
Okay, just need to know what I need to prepare for.
Sure. But, .com, what have you been up to, man?
Oh, just work and things. I got my promotion.
Good.
Yay.
Which ultimately meant lots more work.
Lots more responsibility and not lots more pay.
responsibilities.
And they're prepping you for doing other things too.
I did get more pay. I'm happy with the pay increase.
Yeah.
But I'm very busy now.
Well, at least there's that.
Busy's good.
Busy is good. The
Busy is-
week went by fast.
As long as it's not busy that you take home with you, it's still fine.
I try not to.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. Get it done with.
I find solace in drink and soup.
You sure do
You are a soup man, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Soup's nice. I like a good soup.
Soup is good food.
It is.
Trademark.
Thank you. I don't want to get souped.
I was actually curious to see you making soup in the middle of August at 100 degrees outside. But hey, warm and hearty food,
I do sweat when I eat the soup, and I'll easily admit that.
Well, it's because of all the bone marrow.
You should
All
get
that bone marrow.
you should get your air conditioning fixed. I keep telling you that.
Oof.
Yeah.
We're in Texas in the middle of summer, and
The dead of summer.
it feels like over 100, and guess what it is?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Not-
today's
not
actually
today.
been...
No, not today.
No, it's nice and
Yeah.
cloudy and rainy.
Still,
Which means
still
it's
like 90,
95.
95. I think it was supposed to get in the 80s. Whatever. It's humid as fuck.
Yeah,
And we're
it'll-
sitting on a patio.
It'll get us back tomorrow.
No, this is like the most comfortable it's been in weeks.
Yeah. And like I'm excited about going to New Orleans in November, because like even just the thought, like because you just came back, Dylan,
Yeah.
you just came back from
It has to be better that time of year. It has to be.
Has to.
Yeah.
Well,
I looked up the
It's still a
average
fucking
temperature.
swamp,
It's
yeah.
75, I think. 77, 75.
But how much humidity?
When we're going to be there.
Okay.
How
all
much
of it.
humidity?
all of it.
7,000%.
Yes.
Is that a number?
That's where humidity comes from.
New Orleans.
That's right. That's right.
Biggest import.
That's where we get our shrimp
Yeah.
and our humidity.
In our humidity, yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest export.
That's all we can do.
That's where it's born and exported.
Gross. But no. Yeah, it's been hot here.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's not as hot. But it's still like even sitting down on the patio here, like it's just enough enclosed space that I'm walking around downtown, and then it's sprinkled a little bit, and then coming here, it's like, oh, fuck, I need all the fans pointed at me constantly. It's so sweaty.
My dog doesn't even like it. Sometimes I'll open the door, and she'll like take one look and go, actually,
No,
that's my dog.
Not
does.
so much.
I'll hold it.
Right. I need to send this email. Hold on.
Oh, I forgot something.
Yeah, right. Wait, can't I pee inside? Remember we had that conversation?
Yeah.
We had that big meeting. You were asleep. Mom says it's cool to pee inside. Puppy doing all right?
She is.
Good.
Much better. I haven't had
Moving
to,
on.
I haven't had to punch any of
Good
the
answer.
animals since the last time.
Man, that sounds like a boring week.
Better than them playing fuck around all the
We're-
time. Jesus. Tired of that shit.
We
Was
make
going to
sure-
shoot him. Was going to
make
shoot
sure
him
no
with the
one,
salt
no one
gun.
thinks that we actually do like or we enjoy punching animals.
No, I don't enjoy it.
No.
Only if they're not attractive.
Oh, okay.
If they're fives.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Only if they're asking for it.
Yeah.
5 Aloas. Get in this line.
And they're so obedient. Like, kind of feel bad about punching them after that. But that's what they should have planned.
They should have been born prettier.
Right. It should have been so ugly.
Well, the cat is. The cat. I'll punch the cat whenever the cat deserves it, which is all the time.
Yeah, sure. Because the cat's not going to learn otherwise. So
The cat's not going to learn anyway.
yeah.
So
Fucking
Ever.
cats. Awful creatures.
This segment brought to you by PETA.
And Crystal Pepsi. Crystal PETA.
Oh, yeah. We have some here.
Yes.
Crystal Pepsi.
the shining paragon of whatever the hell's happening in the world today.
Yeah, I was at the store today, and there's a big display, and all it said on it was, "It's back."
And here it is.
And here it is.
Does that banner ever change? Have you maybe never noticed that that's the "It's Back" like that hits the '90s section?
It may have been a display box from the '90s. They just brought out of storage. I don't know what.
Does Randall sell Jinkos? Because I'm curious if that in caps like we still have it. Like we didn't check the date on any of these to just make sure that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading the ingredients on this, and the very last ingredient is natural flavor.
Natural flavor, which
They're real
makes sense 'cause-
cagey. They're real cagey about natural.
Well,
Well,
everything
flavor
else
of
is
what?
fructose corn syrup, sodium benzoate, blah, 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 blah. Nothing else except there's nothing before that natural flavor that indicates anything that would have flavor except for sugar, which is
sure.
not really a flavor, just sweet.
Oh, but it's delicious.
And the last thing on the list is flavor.
Yeah.
So
I wish I had a pin.
good times, huh?
Yeah.
Is it literally the same product without the color?
that was the rumor.
That's the
but-
way they sell it, but it actually just tastes like Coke to me. It tastes like Coca-Cola. And
I haven't had it since middle school
Yeah.
in a land far, far away.
I actually never had it, even
Um,
though I'm from the 90s and I've had my share of Zima. I never had Crystal Pepsi. I was never brave enough for Crystal Pepsi.
if you like Pepsi, I mean,
I was
go ahead.
unwilling to pull that trigger.
If you like Pepsi, go ahead and go and try it. Like whatever,
We'll do a taste test later.
or on ice or something.
Yeah, This is warm. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
No. We need to do it the way they dug it up.
It was right next to the ET cartridges.
exactly.
I wonder who lost their life spelunking down into deep caverns under some secret military base to find the recipe for Crystal Pepsi again.
Sure.
Against all odds, they disavowed all knowledge of his existence.
The only archaeologist who works the FBI.
Yeah.
The one guy.
Yeah.
And the first fucking thing he did is pops the top off. God damn it.
Right.
Worst archaeologist ever.
That's a Suicide Squad reference for anyone who's seen it.
I actually got that joke.
It's so fucking
because I
awful.
watched the Red Letter Media thing. You guys
Yes,
said.
yeah. But again, second segment. Well, actually, we can just go ahead and go to that in here in a second. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with this.
Okay.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break.
So when does this become Cajun country?
And the night's new, what a feeling, what a nice mood. A bam, boom, rock, we're here to rock you.
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Yeah.
Segment 2.
The Suicide 2.
The Suicide. Suicide.
Suicide Squad.
So, Suicide Squad came out recently. Next topic. Suicide Squad.
I have.
Suicide Squad is based off a DC secondary DC IP using a bunch of old DC supervillains or villains or whatever that were added to a task force with the promise of shortening their time spent in jail
Their forever sentences.
to go do things that no one else would be willing to do because
in
their
case
lives
there's
are on the
another
line.
Superman that comes by and he's not as nice
Well,
as Superman.
that's the movie. So I'm going to stick with just first to try to explain how kind of cool the idea is in sense. Like they send people.
Oh, you mean the original Suicide?
Yeah, the original
Okay.
Suicide Squad.
Sorry.
They're just-
These guys that go out and they, again, they could be going to their deaths, but hey, it doesn't matter because they're
Super Black Ops off the books.
Yeah, off the
no one
books.
else can do
Don't
this, but
exist.
these bad guys they get the job done, and if they do it, they get a day off their sentence.
right. And I don't know what the actual roster is for outside the movie. I always thought Harley Quinn was in it, and I've only seen one other movie related to this, which is Assault on Arkham, which is a cartoon, and it's fucking excellent. because the majority of it is actually them trying to do this thing. The Joker has a dirty bomb. It's going to go off somewhere, and they had to send in the Suicide Squad, the Team X or whatever they're called. And the whole time, Batman's also trying to put them back in jail. And because Batman knows about the Joker thing, and he's also trying to keep them from getting away. And there's like all this like backhanding, like backstabbing, and like they're trying to escape and try to get their freedom and all this shit. And it's like some really cool characters. And so the idea of Suicide Squad, which has been an idea for 2 years, being a continuation of the DC music universe.
Here you go. Why don't you pick through the?
Oh God, no thanks. That's so many. But I'd say like Harley Quinn was at least in that movie, and it was so the idea of Harley Quinn being in this and some other DC characters that just haven't seen in the movies. Cool. We'll round out the universe a little bit. Cool.
Yeah, because that Boomerang guy.
Captain
Need
Boomerang.
more Boomerang guy.
Well, and like Captain Boomerang, especially in the cartoon, was like a pretty good tactician. His boomerangs are sharp, so they cut people's heads off. Like, he's an actual
One of
dangerous
them's a
thing.
drone.
But it's goofy. And it's like still his name's Captain Boomerang.
He still doesn't have any fucking powers.
Yeah,
he's
one of Flash's rogue gallery, so he's one of Flash's villains. So he's literally a dude who throws boomerangs at the fastest man alive.
That's
Which-
the dumbest thing I
Right.
think I could ever hear.
Right,
Think.
right.
well, in case he'll stop and he's punching me, and the boomerang comes back around. Get it? He won't even notice.
Gotcha. Got you
Wow.
with intrigue. So I was excited about this movie, at least to some degree. Seeing some stuff, hearing about Jared Leto being the Joker was a thing. Fine, I'll give it a shot. We didn't really think Heath Ledger would do that job, or definitely didn't think Ben Affleck was going to be a good Batman. So yeah, give Leto a chance. And Adam and I left that theater pissed off.
Correct.
At how much they fucked up what could have been a lot of fucking fun.
I have had to take the time since then and now to temper my fury with all the details kind of on what was the long and short of that movie coming to be.
Right.
And all like the reshoots, the recuts, and everything that happened right up to the point where it released. I can't help but not notice how everyone missed the obvious conclusion that should have been come to, that like if that was the end result of all of that effort and all of that redo and all of that everything, if the product that they created was the end result, it should have never come out. Like, you should have given the fuck up.
Right. At the end, when you previewed it and you looked at it, you watched it all the way through.
Yeah, how did you come to the conclusion that, oh, this is fine?
That's why, because I had two reviews of the thing. The one that I posted on Facebook, which is, if I give it a letter grade, I'd give it a W.
A solid W.
A sympathy W, hoping that it would redo the semester and take it seriously this time. And then the other review was, honestly, if I found out that this movie was made specifically to ruin the IP or someone's career, I would not be surprised. Because it was just so sloppily put together, and the final editing was just confusing.
Yeah, before you guys went to see it, I think last week I mentioned this, I was really curious what would happen with the editing process, because that was something that was talked about, how they saw Wolverine and they saw Deadpool with R-rated, not Wolverine,
Deadpool, and they saw Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So they see these, they publicly said we're reshooting some stuff and fixing things as a reactionary measure because they didn't have a good story to begin with.
Right. Definitely.
Like,
Which, to me, to your point, Adam, like, there may have been something there once, four-stick style, but then some studio nut job said, no, we need reshoots, we need to fix it, we need to edit and edit and edit and edit.
Right.
yeah, and
And this is what you get.
Yeah.
I have not wanted to leave a theater like
Wow.
so
I
fast.
never wanted to actually leave a theater
Did you-
before the movie was
Now
over.
I know you. You
Yeah.
have a strong stance in that one. You
Yeah.
will sit through
Yeah.
everything because if nothing else, you're just too nice to embarrass somebody.
Well, sure, yeah, to
Like,
put some out or whatever, but also because if I'm going to give it an honest review, I have to see it all the way through. Like, you
Good
know,
point.
just
Yeah.
like if I'm going to eat, if
I
I'm
mean-
going to review a restaurant, I'm going to eat there 3 times, not just the fucking one time and be like, oh, this place is worth a 1
Yeah.
star, whatever, you know. So
And you wanted to walk
I
out.
really, really wanted to walk
At
out.
what point?
All the points. Like,
well, it was
literally
about
it felt like it was 17 hours long.
yeah, but it was probably about an hour and a half into it, where I was like, something inside my brain clicked, and I was just fucking done.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I sighed at something that happened, and I was just like, I was literally like. My brain
Such
sent signals to my
cringeworthy.
body to get up and leave. Like, and I had to like, stop, fuck, no, discipline. Like,
Fight or flight?
yeah.
Margot Robbie was given simultaneously some of the best lines in the movie and some of the worst lines in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, just didn't know what to fucking do with the character, and there was like, because the theory, I
one thing
guess, was that the
noticed-
original concept of the Joker and Harley Quinn relationship in the movie was supposed to be more of the more traditional Joker and Harley Quinn thing where he's fucking super abusive to her.
Yeah.
And she's so fucked up she doesn't know. She's really super codependent.
Yeah, super Stockholm.
So
Yeah.
there's a particular scene where, and I don't know how they were going to do it in the original cut. There's a scene where there's an escape scene. She gets in a helicopter that the Joker has. The helicopter's flying away, and there's this scene where the helicopter gets shot down. And,
Which actually happens a lot in that movie, and
she
everyone
falls
survives.
out, but falls out because Joker pushed her out, and she falls backwards and somehow landed on her feet and rolled. But not getting to the nitpicky thing, that's not how physics work exactly. The way he pushed her out was really aggressive. Like the original idea was that he was about to murder her, you know. And so the next scene after that is her. She finally escaped from the squad. She got the thing taken out of her neck because it was going to explode if you don't do what you're supposed to do, whatever. The next scene in the movie was her super sad because the Joker might be dead and coming back to the team. But when you know that
Like
was
super embarrassed,
when you know it was most likely because he tried to murder her, that scene makes a whole lot more sense. It was like, why would she come back? And then there's even a scene where Captain Boomerang decides to give up and he walks off.
But he's in the next
And
scene.
the next scene, he's
Like,
back with them for absolutely
Because he's a
fucking no reason.
boomerang. Come on.
Yeah.
It writes itself, guys.
But like, aside from getting too nitpicky about it, like Chris Lloyd had a great review. The idea of it being worse than Batman vs Superman for sure, because if you didn't like Batman vs Superman, then it comes down to like a personal opinion of what it was. But no matter what, we can kind of believe that they at least had some fucking idea what they were doing. And Suicide Squad did not feel like the end result was written by people who had seen the movie all the way through.
You and I were in
know?
the opposite camp going into that because we liked Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
Like I had a good time watching it. It wasn't my favorite movie in the world, but they did a much better job with that than I was expecting.
Yeah.
And I came into Suicide Squad not expecting much either, and they did so much worse than I could have possibly imagined that it was frustrating.
It was
and we
fucking
We went to the Jackalope 90s party
Yeah.
right after that, and it was just like
We were kind of
depressed, sour kids. Like had to get over it. Like, okay, I just want to drink
Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I want to drink to oblivion now because that should not have happened. There was like there were two details of that movie that I really liked, and then they fucked both of them immediately after they occurred.
And like the Suicide Squad thing the cartoon I was mentioning before, the best scenes in that movie were when fucking Batman showed up.
Just like everything in DC. Yeah, everything
Like,
DC.
of course.
If Batman's there, it's good. If Batman's not there, it's not that good.
It just makes so much more sense for that fucking IP, you know. And then and you know, to talk specifically about Leto's performance is frustrating because I feel bad for the guy. I felt like he, as it's presented, looked like he was taking it too fucking seriously. Like I've even seen articles as like this should mean the end of method acting, because he spent basically 2 years of production being a fucking shithead.
Yeah,
to everyone, like giving them used condoms and like dead pigs and dead rats and stuff just because whatever. Like there's one of my favorite memes actually. You know the old trick where you hide your first finger on one hand, you put your thumb under the two fingers here, and you like pretend you're separating, whatever. It's just a picture of someone doing that, and it just says Jared Leto, and he's doing this, and then underneath it has director, and the director is screaming, "Oh my god, oh my god!" Like
He cut his finger off.
because he's so like the Joker. He's so much like the Joker. Like no, and like all the things that they could have done to explain away all the weird tattoos, and his weird attitudes, and like.
Also, they had so the one thing also to keep in mind is Jared Leto's Joker had a grand total of, I believe, approximately 7 minutes.
It was 7 minutes
on-screen time.
Yeah.
But
and that's why I feel bad for him, because the original cut was a lot longer, and it might have made more sense.
It must have been because someone like
he wouldn't be top bill.
Someone who's top bill, Jared Leto is a good actor, and for someone to go,
Sean Connery, I guess Sean Connery is in.
But for someone to adopt, I'm going to go into a method mentality, and I'm going to be this character for so long.
Yeah.
Doesn't do that for 7 fucking minutes of screen time.
Right. No.
Yeah.
Not at
So
all.
what happened?
Right.
well, it got cut and edited. But like
that's my
they
point.
threw in flashbacks at times where there was literally no reason to have a flashback.
Yeah, they're
and by the
just- they're
time the
distracted.
flashback was over, what happened next in the current time scene is affected in no way by the flashback that you just spent 12 minutes or whatever watching.
And the biggest deal about it too was that when it was so disjointed, and they saw it was so disjointed, they said, "Well, what did Guardians do?" I guess they just threw music at it. So anytime a scene, like literally, there was a chunk of maybe 3 minutes where I think like 6 songs were played, 6 different pieces, and like they were just
the entire beginning of the movie was basically
Right.
like some kid's mixtape.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, and that what comes up with the best fan theory that, or not fan theory, but the best explanation I've seen. Someone on Reddit mentioned that Suicide Squad, the movie, feels like someone filmed a version of a pen and paper RPG with a bunch of fucking nerds. The guy running the thing.
But the important part was the particular type of players
Exactly,
playing the
different kinds of
characters,
players.
and how they don't have any cohesion or any desire to be
Right.
cohesive.
Like
And then
the Harley Quinn was played by a dude who like wanted to play a girl, but he didn't know how girls work.
he
you know?
insists on playing. A
Yeah,
girl.
yeah. And Captain Boomerang is just like literally an Australian guy who just keeps getting drunk and not actually doing anything because he's frustrated because he doesn't know what his part's supposed to be.
Or Diablo is just the guy who refuses to actually help the party in any way, shape, or form.
Because he's too into his own story.
Yeah, and
Like,
nobody's paying attention. Thank you,
Yeah,
Jamie.
and then the one guy, not Deadshot, but Snap Fist, or the first person to die, like
Sling Blade.
Slipknot.
Slipknot. So this
Sling Blade.
So Sling Blade. This character Slipknot, like so they presented this idea that they have these things in their necks where if they're going to explode if they do the wrong dumb thing.
Yeah,
and they're like,
right.
all right, so we have a team. You got Killer Croc, and you got
Right.
Diablo, and you got
The
these guys.
GM has said this explicitly.
And they said all these things, and then they like basically they dump Captain Boomerang out of like a burlap sack for some reason. He wasn't even in the jail, and then Sling Blade, Slipknot comes. He steps out of a car. He steps out of a car, and now he's part of the team now. So it's like bigger thing. And then Katana shows up, who's like a hero who actually has a really interesting backstory that they didn't even fucking touch, except for to make it really fucking weird. But whatever.
Except really awkwardly. They
so
touched it once awkwardly.
When they get to the beginning of the sortie and they're going to do all this shit, the first thing Slipknot does is that he tries to rappel out.
Yeah.
And they blow his fucking head off. So they literally only introduce his character one fucking time.
So they could
in
show
order
the
to
device.
in order
So they
to
show the
use
device,
him,
yeah.
use him as an example for the rest of
Right,
the
right. To
crew,
do
yeah.
the what was it, Chekhov's gun thing, really. You
Yeah.
know, like to make sure people understand that the real is dangerous. Like you could just tell us it's okay.
Yeah.
But that guy
You
in
could have
the,
done a James Bond style montage in the
Right.
laboratory with a dummy. Look, this would happen to you.
Well,
Boom.
also, that was the thing. Like,
on the RPG side of it, the pen and paper, and just the last bit of that because I love it. Like that character, that was a dude who was like, no, fuck it, I'm gonna go on my own adventure. And the GM's like, all right, well then I'm fucking killing you. Roll for damage. You know?
Man.
But yeah, so it was just like from stem to stern, just a big fucking
yeah,
frustrating
the
mess.
explanation doesn't make sense. Nothing leading up to it makes sense.
Yeah, because you were about to bring up the fact that the way they tell the story here is not just Black Ops, but also Black Ops just in case Superman goes bad.
Yeah,
So you have
yeah.
that was their whole reasoning.
one
It's like, well,
person
what
with
happens if another?
superpowers?
Yeah, so you have a girl with a bat.
or 2 people with superpowers, basically.
You got a guy with a boomerang. And
Yeah,
they're-
what
they're
are
to stop
those?
Superman.
Yeah, why were those?
That's not
Why
what
were
they're supposed to
any
do.
of them there?
Yeah.
Because honestly, if it's another, jeez, Canfield.
.com. Remember?
No, you can't feel when you spill shit.
You
Okay.
Canfield when you fuck up. Boy.
It was just water. Just a little water.
If you really add it up, let's say, according to this plan, to put
The first part of the plan made perfect sense for that
the
big
worst criminals ever up, ready to defend the world somehow against somebody like Superman, but not raised by a nice
Right.
Kentucky farm home
Right,
or
no,
whatever.
you send the Flash because the Flash is in this fucking movie.
Right.
You have other characters. Batman exists.
Right.
You send those guys to.
Yeah, Batman, Flash, like all the superheroes who actually do have fucking powers.
Yeah.
They are like
They
you don't
exist in this
send
universe now.
Like what is her like what are any of those guys doing here? Even Deadshot, you can shoot real good. Those guys are impervious to bullets.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you going to shoot him with?
Yeah, yeah.
Like all of those people would be immediately fire. Really,
Yeah.
like, or again, Slipknot. The whole thing, like, it makes no sense why he can climb anything. That's what they said. That's a quote. He can climb anything. That's his power.
Wow.
So I mean, he should
Wow.
die, but.
Wow.
But like, and the thing about the attack on Arkham, or like really just the idea of the group alone, which is fucking, I think it was smart, was that you have this collective of people who have to work together, and so like you have that thing. They didn't really explore that. It was mostly a Will Smith movie. Suicide Squad was a Will Smith movie. Some people were going in knowing that, and they enjoyed themselves because it was like it's a dumb Will Smith movie,
Well,
summer blockbuster thing.
Except
Alright.
they spent all that
spent
time.
so much time on
They
that.
spent so much more
Yeah,
time
yeah.
on Harley Quinn
Well, because obviously
because
you know.
she's way more popular. But the thing is, like,
But let me finish
yeah,
let me
fine,
finish the thought. So like the Will Smith character, sure, but like they have all these guys that have to like work together, and like they try to get over their conflict because that's pretty easy when it comes to writing entertainment, you know. But they have these specialty things that they could go do away, and they really early on, because they killed that Slipknot character because all he was doing is grappling. He didn't say he was running away. He just grappled someone. They're like, go kill him. Like now everyone had to be in the same room together, and then they introduced these mutants that have guns that are running at them, and so now Harley Quinn, who has a bat, Captain Boomerang, who's just drinking and not actually doing anything, now they're in a gunfight. And so it's like they literally most of their skill set being fucking wasted, except for Deadshot, who's like
Harley
doing really
Quinn
well.
Also has a pistol.
She has a pistol. She has a fucking revolver. It's like look at it, has like four shots on it, you know. And so like they missed this opportunity, especially for easy storytelling, to say, all right, so we need to get here. Here's the plan. Harley, you do this, you do this, you do this, and then go do that separately, because they didn't know what they were fucking doing with any of the characters. You know?
Wow.
And of course, like fucking Deadshot being an assassin. Who, like, the first part of him was actually kind of fun. Like, he's on the phone with the guy who was, like, hired to... they hired him or whatever. He's like, I'm looking at the dude, but I don't see any money in my bank account. He's like, no, after. He's like, oh, no. And you also have 15 seconds before he's out of range, so you need to send me $1 million right now. And so he sends him $1 million. He's like, actually, it's $2 because you're being a dick. And so he sends him $2, and he just fires one shot that bounces off some shit and kills his target and fucking takes off.
See,
And
that's
it's
cool.
Awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
It was a good fucking scene. And like the stuff they had with Harley in the jail was actually kind of fun because she looked fucking insane and not like insane, you know, like Hot Topic insane.
What I don't get, because
scene kids are coming back because of this fucking movie.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people who think the scene kids who are like fucking wearing their goth makeup, but like not goth because they're going to be like weird.
Yeah, there's
weird
already
on
been
purpose and,
there's
like,
already been like things
No way.
posted around like, you know, screw Disney romance or whatever. I want a guy who looks at me like Joker looks at Harley Quinn, and like the only response is like, bitch, no you don't. Like, if you know anything about their relationship, like really, that's the last thing you want.
and they like they ruined that too. They ruined all of it.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, why did Margot Robbie? Why did she oscillate between the Harley Quinn voice and then talking like a normal white girl?
I know.
She spent the majority talking like a normal white girl and occasionally pulled out the Harley Quinn. What was that? Why?
I know.
Just fucking do it.
There's also a scene when they did some reshots. One of the I think the girl who plays Katana had shorter hair. Like they actually had a continuity error with hair, just like Fan. I mean, it felt a lot like Fan Four
Sue Forstick,
in a sense where it literally was, "What the fuck? Why are you doing this to us? Why do you?" But it made a ton of money.
Suicide Squirt, I think is what they called it.
It made a ton of money, so you know,
I don't know.
We'll see more of this.
I have not actually legitimately hated a movie like with that amount of vitriol in a while. Like, I've watched some shit ass movies that I really didn't like.
And you are full of vitriol.
But
so that's a heavy statement.
Yeah, they at least had like the pretense,
Captain Vitriol,
the pretense before them that they're going to be shitty movies. Like, I didn't go in there expecting
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. This didn't.
Adam never realized that he would hate the movie so much.
Adam McWaters. Adam McWaters crawled through human shit for 2 hours.
through 2 football fields full of shit-smelling foulness.
Right.
Call it Suicide Squad.
I'll put in my 2 cents on the movie.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it. Not gonna.
Cool.
There we go.
And time for a break.
Time for a break. We'll come back into this.
These dusty bricks, bitters, mix, bitter cats, split bricks.
How did you have fun?
Right.
Did you watch the movie? Did you have fun because you were playing Pokemon? Like,
My name on the quilt, great. Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break.
welcome back to the show, everybody. Hey, segment 3, Fighting 3. We're still in
Robots fighting 3.
Yeah, we'll talk about other movies. Talk about because the Suicide Squad, of course, just being so frustrating. Like, we're also remembering the movies that we know that were bad and we actually enjoyed. And enjoying thing is really important.
That is kind of the point of entertainment.
Yes. And it doesn't have to be dripping with like so much. Like, I don't know. Our friend Matt Perry is back in town for the weekend. I was able to hang out with him for a little bit last night. And Canfield was here. .com, excuse me. Fuck. Good, but
Life is so hard.
We're talking about books. They were talking about just like books that we love and books that we enjoy, and like when we get to a certain moment in time, when we see Ned Stark dying in the first Ice and Fire book.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole key
was
point about that. Is
super
you don't see it.
Well, yeah, that's what
You got killed off screen.
It was actually shocking,
But it was actually surprising, and like,
Yes. And that's rare from.
.com was saying, like, when you understand, you've read enough, or you've seen enough, play enough video games, or watch enough movies, you
start seeing patterns.
You get the game theory down, where you're like, this is at this point, this is going to have to happen. You have to hit these beats, and then someone dies, you're like, well, I kind of saw that happening. And when you're surprised, it's cool. But I got
It's
to a
also
point,
heartbreaking.
In my conversation with him last night, of course, it's heartbreaking.
When you get to that point, you're turning back the
on-
page, going, "Wait, what the fuck?"
Right.
Like,
And especially when you look up, like, I don't know if you guys have ever had that situation where you got so into, especially a book, when you look up, like, if you're on a train or like you're just waiting at a bus stop, or if you're doing something in public and you look up and you want to commiserate with anyone, but you realize you're the only person in the world at that
Right.
time. Like, you're the only one who's
and
actually
you've just
existing.
harassed that poor passing engineer or whatever on the train, and you're like, "You've got
Wait.
to speak to me
Right,
about this
right,
now."
anything, yeah.
Are you telling me that these things called books are
They're physically printed.
they're like
Sometimes.
you can get sucked into like a universe that's like you're a part of?
Surprisingly,
But it's all in your mind.
so
wow.
That's what I was bringing up.
Man.
Is, like, when we
The
start
future. It's here.
like, when I start thinking about the things that I consume, it's rare for me to read something that's dramatic, where I don't feel like I'm gonna, like, where I don't feel like I know what's about to happen, and so I've just stopped reading things that are more dramatic. I don't really like. I'm not really big into picking up brand new hard sci-fi stuff unless I know it's going to be funny. That's why I stick with Terry Pratchett and Tom Robbins. That's why I
Right.
stick with Douglas Adams. Anything that's actually going to be funny, I'm interested in, because otherwise I would read nonfiction, because that would be something
It's worth doing.
something I don't know, and I don't want to so I don't walk into movies. I'm not interested in movies that are serious, and so I think of I probably like more super stupid movies that are super fun, because I'm looking for that. And I have this huge queue still on my Netflix from probably the first time I got Netflix in the first fucking place. I'm never in the fucking mood for it, because I'm like, that's either gonna fucking not Life of Pi. God damn it.
Just pie.
There's
Just Pi,
Well,
yeah.
the Pi. The guy who did Pi also did something else. Fucking super depressing movie.
Requiem for a Dream.
Requiem for a Dream. Like,
Holy crap!
I want to see that in order to round out like my own
Yeah.
personal canon, but also I just never want to see it. You know,
It's
I'm just never in
It's
the
not
fucking mood.
comfy. I'll say that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I really enjoy really fucking stupid dumb movies. Like, it's like, so .com brought up
Like Pixels. Yeah.
fucking
Your favorite.
No, those are bad movies. those are celluloid abortions.
Hey, leave Kevin James out of this.
No,
and that's why I get
no, he must be stopped.
that's why I get really frustrated.
Cheers.
With it. Yes, yeah, actually, I can do that. That's why I get frustrated when you talk about especially big summer blockbusters. People say, "Well, you knew it was going to be bad because it's a popcorn flick,
Yeah.
so it's going to be bad." But like, it's going to be bad doesn't mean that it had to be bad. It could also not
That's-
be dumb.
That's kind of an absurd way to look at things, because like historically throughout Hollywood, there's been loads of popcorn movie action flicks
They were awesome.
that were awesome. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they were a popcorn movie was something to get excited about,
Right.
and that's still a concept. It's just like shit's changed over time, so everyone's like, "Oh, I don't want that trash. I want something that's meaningful." And it's like,
Right.
I do too,
Right.
but sometimes I just want to see this. What the fuck is this?
I think
Like,
the difference is a popcorn flick that becomes a popcorn flick because it's a good movie to begin with, versus the studio saying, well, every May 31st, we put out the big summer blockbuster.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Right. That's where we're at. That's where we've been for a long
plan.
time.
And they
The
stop.
planned
And they stop like
nature of
just
it.
like Rivers Cuomo and the way he produces music. He's like just has to do it. Is the concern?
Unfortunately, he should have stopped.
Sure.
years ago.
well, no,
'Cause he writes a song every day or whatever.
When his tactic was, I need to write a complete song every day.
Well, that's still at least somewhat creative. I'm just saying, like,
For sure.
the studio idea of, well, every year we need to have a summer blockbuster. So let's make it.
No, sure. But the problem is like his idea.
Independence Day 2.
His idea of writing a song, producing a song, or writing a song every single day is great up until the moment you realize that he's churning, and when you start churning, you're
Right.
not really doing
It's lazy.
anything.
Okay.
intricate.
Okay.
yeah.
Fair point.
That's
yeah.
my concern.
All right, I got you. Okay.
Right.
The idea itself, I think,
You
is pretty
sacrifice
sound.
quality for quantity.
Because there's like that guy, songs to wear pants to,
Yeah.
and Andrew Hyung, I think is it. And this
He's
guy
brilliant.
is fucking brilliant. He had a site where you could either ask him, you give him a submission. You can either ask him for the thing he'll pick through and maybe pick it up, or you can pay him for custom submissions. And you're contracting music from the guy.
Okay.
And so
we've offered that service here on Drunkcast.
Yes, yeah, and so what he did was he forced himself to get into a situation where he was writing stuff like someone would submit, go to your CD collection, CD.com. CD is
Oh, I have a huge box of them.
no vinyl, not vinyl.
Actual CDs.
No, go to your CD collection and pick the 13th CD, the 40th CD, and the 98th CD. Pick the first song from the first CD, the fourth song from the second CD, and the fifth or seventh song for the whatever, and then write a cover using the cover of the first one, genre of the second one, and the meter of the third. It's like it was something super complex, and he fucking did it. And he did it to a point where he became basically he can fucking write anything because he kept challenging himself, and like
I think that's pretty cool.
that's where the fucking cool stuff comes from.
But,
because when you're
again,
challenging yourself,
the difference is like the focus maintained
so
a
much.
level of quality.
It's also artistic vision versus business entity. We scheduling success.
yeah. But like he put himself back through college essentially, or through some kind of school. And someone else is like, this is what you need to do by whatever time. And he actually really got fucking really good at whatever. But it's the opposite of that now. Is that when it has to be May 21st every single summer or every single whatever.
The rest is irrelevant.
It's gotten to a point where they're like, well, it just doesn't even matter. It just has to be a movie. It has to qualify for a movie. That's it.
And we happen to be in a particular era of films where they seem to be generally of the opinion that remakes are in. And so we're just like
not
they're
in. They're just easy.
Well,
there's so many remakes upcoming.
I was going to say,
come on.
I was going to take your point, Adam, and attach it to Travis's that if you have to make a thing, and we have to make something that we know will work,
right?
You go to the well that worked 30 years ago. That's where the remake problem comes from.
Right. But all they do is make it good.
Manufactured nostalgia.
Yeah.
Right.
And
which is why Stranger Things is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched the Red Letter Media of Stranger Things, and I really
yeah.
enjoyed that. Like they brought up the fact that wasn't a nostalgia movie; it was a period piece.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, the movie, the series took place in the 80s because that's what it said. Page one, small town Indiana, 1984.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't like actually they point out repeatedly there were no Rubik's cubes.
Yeah.
There were no new Coke bottles.
It was less being initially shoved in your face and more period piece style where it's just kind of like that was life. And
This is a snapshot of what
they
happened.
didn't mention it.
Yeah.
They just they had the things they had and they did the things they did.
Yep.
And you just do it right.
Yeah.
Like again, and it just comes back to, and this is where I go back to that people argue, well, it's going to be a dumb movie. Why are you upset about it? Or, why do you care enough to argue about it? Like
because a lot of dumb
fucking snouts on turtles.
Yes.
Just snouts on turtles.
Right.
That is literally just one extra inch of effort.
Yeah,
that would have brought more people who liked the original IP to say, well, hey, I like this kind of more.
Yeah,
I'm more.
I'm very
so weird.
I'm not saying anti, but I'm very generally
turtles don't have
generally
noses.
I'm negative when it comes to any big blockbuster blow up summer thing, and it's not because I can't enjoy something with my brain turned off. I absolutely can.
Yeah.
I stand by Cool as Ice as a decent movie.
Done it thousands of times.
But so like you take a Michael Bay joint. Okay, I see there's pieces that's blow up cool stuff. I get what you're trying to do.
Yeah, action movies for 12-year-olds.
But when you're just lazy and shitty about it, you lose my respect as a person who's making a movie, the creative product.
Right.
If you don't even try, fuck you. Why bother?
Oh, and that's for people like us who are paying attention. But like I think even
that's why you and I will get mad because they're not trying.
Because they're not trying.
Yeah.
Because on a subconscious level, you also can smell when a person's not trying hard enough. And so, like the regular general 75% movie audience,
it carries through
who
to
love
the
going to
product,
see movies. Like they're saying, well, movie ticket sales are going down as people can watch movies at home. But like, people still want to go out and see movies. They're just getting disenfranchised with the fucking shit they're seeing because
no one wants to see Terminator 5 through 7.
Right.
What do you think 99 out of 100 date nights are based off of?
Yeah.
You go see the fucking movies.
Sit in the dark.
Yeah.
You get a hand job through a popcorn box.
Everyone knows that. That's science.
An overtly buttery popcorn box.
You need the lube, yeah.
Obviously.
Hell.
2 pumps.
Yeah. Plus it's warm.
We're talking about the popcorn butter or
Yes. Yeah. Both. And that's this week's Double Entendre.
Yeah.
Should have happened last segment.
Speaking of movie news, we lost a beloved movie person today or yesterday.
Oh shit, who died?
Kenny Baker, R2D2.
Oh yeah,
Motherfucker.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, just when the shit was getting better.
I know. he held out for as long as he could.
He did.
It's a,
he was like, with this,
I can finally
let go.
fine.
Yeah.
Fair winds sail thee forth, sir. Because that is true. That is something I am really to this day still kind of a little like shocked and a touch trepidatious about. Is how I'm excited about Star Wars again.
Yeah.
Like
I've been Rogue One looked good.
Oh, that new trailer for Rogue One. I was just fuck. Why can't it be tomorrow? Why?
Can I say like the only thing that like, and this is super nitpicky. This is super nitpicky. Like I'm kind of weirded out that there's a Japanese samurai style person. In the
I
movie.
am as well. That concerns me.
That feels kind of shoehorned.
I'm
a little
excited
bit,
because I
but-
love that dude.
but everything else
Sure.
except
Yeah,
that
yeah.
looked pretty tight.
Yeah.
But
So.
I think it's going to be a cool character. Like
Right.
not some hackneyed horse shit. I think that's where like the gut concern would be like, what did you just shoehorn in for?
Right.
To pander to somebody with.
Right.
Like,
So the rumors I saw were Jimmy Smith's Bail Organa has a brief cameo,
Okay.
and he's admitted that he has a cameo.
Cool. Okay.
Then Donnie was saying that maybe this is a Reddit thing. It's Hayden Christensen in the Darth Vader suit. That would be horrible. They can't do that. Don't do that to me,
Please
please.
don't do that.
well, it's not like he can come out of the suit, so it's okay.
Actually,
But still, even putting him in it is just a crime.
no,
Yeah.
I guess I'm on the fence of that too, because as much as I actually want Hayden Christensen to not have a career or to actually be
Or a life.
like drop into
Or a
dip
life.
somewhere.
Hey, Jumper was fine.
Jumper was awful.
For Hayden Christensen movie.
Jumper was awful because no, I mean, okay,
Jumper was all right.
Actually, he was really
Jumper-
good in Glass Ceiling.
Jumper was a lot of fun, but Hayden Christensen almost ruined that movie. That's how good the
You know
movie
what?
was.
That's true, because that was Doug Liman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah.
fucking, and there's supposed to be a trilogy, but people hated Hayden Christensen so much that they stopped making those movies.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever.
Wow. You heard it here first, folks.
But like on that same topic though, like if we're talking about like giving a shit and canon and caring about your IP, if there's a situation where the mask comes off and it is within the timeline where he would still look like Hayden Christensen, it should be that guy.
No, you should ignore it
unless there could be
entirely.
another human who looks exactly like Hayden
No,
Christensen.
You should ignore it completely. Which
Yeah,
they-
just don't take it off. Just that's the easiest way to make it, unless they want more nerds to be frothing over it.
Well,
And now we have a case for CGI. Just saying,
God, it's
it can be whoever you want.
fucking Suicide Squad.
But I
so
am-
awful.
I am over the moon excited for Rogue One.
Yeah.
Mainly because even though it's still another fucking Death Star story,
Yeah, it sure is.
Seriously?
I don't know.
It's about the first one though.
But it doesn't get blown up this
Yeah.
time.
Right. That's the one thing they're. Well,
it's the story
Does,
of the.
does it
of-
have a weak point?
Well, yes, it does.
yeah,
That
yeah.
proven in the. But
that's the purpose of the movie. It's literally it's the group of people who go and find the plan to the original
right.
Death Star in order to
when
figure out what the
when it's
weakness is.
mentioned in the earliest movies, you know,
A New Hope.
You know, good people lost their lives to find these plans.
This is that
it's
story,
That
yeah.
story.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
those people
that's
who went
cool.
to go get those plans.
These are the Rebel Alliance. They're found that there's a new weapon. They're going to figure out how to stop it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
And that's awesome.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's exciting because it's
No
not
shield generator on the planet.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, because they're making a Star Wars movie basically or there's going to be a Star Wars movie released basically every single year, right?
That was the plan.
That was
Right,
the plan.
I think
and
it-
so
I think
one
it's-
one's going to be episode 8, and then the next one's going to be a side story like this. So
Yeah.
episode 9 will come out next year, or
Yeah.
episode 8 will
This
come out
is-
next
They're
year.
oscillating between.
I
Yeah,
don't do
this
Star
is-
Wars math.
This is
Sure,
this
sure.
is super nerdy of me, but they are apparently planning on canonizing the Grand Admiral Thrawn stories.
Oh, they need to.
Okay.
So
I mean, make
much.
it official, which means there is the possibility that motherfucker is going to show up because those were the best fucking side Star Wars stories
Fucking
ever.
literally. They
I don't know
need
anything about that.
the Thrawn trilogy. Yeah.
Best, but there's
Yeah.
10,000 Star Wars side books, and
Yeah.
those stand at the fucking top.
I wonder
Every Star Wars nerd agrees.
Yes.
Which something very,
Very
rarely
rare,
happens,
yeah.
but every Star Wars nerd goes.
Oh, that's right, because it was
that's the
stuck in the canon too, right? Like the
Well, it was loose, and now I think they're going
They're
to.
officially-
Disney is going to officially
man.
canonize
Cool.
the
I just
Thrawn
got
character.
I got a light boner right there.
But where's our Shadows of the Empire, man?
Eh, yeah.
I like that character. Or anything from the Rebel, the Dark Forces.
Oh yeah, that was a good set of stories.
It's as long as the audiobook. I would like to check out some Star Wars side stories, I guess. But I need to make sure that Will Wheaton's reading the audiobooks.
Will Wheaton?
Because-
God.
I mean, you know,
you and that baby ensign.
let's take a break. We'll come back and do it.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break.
That's not a joke.
Woo! I got my old soul shoe tripping on his deep groove. And the night's new, what a feeling, what a nice mood. A bam, boom, rock, we're here to rock you.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Hey! Second for the Fighting Four. No, that's wrong. The Fantastic Four, because we are four fantastic people.
Oh yeah.
I actually put too much time on the clock. Let's go ahead and lock that down. But
two Rantula.
this is our time to
I have a series of people we need to be saying the shout outs to.
Oh yeah, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So our own lovely Jules and Matt Willis got married this past week. So congratulations.
Nice.
Sure.
Actually, about 2 hours ago, I'm going to use the word sister-in-law because it's easier to explain that way. Got married downtown. So
congrats.
Chrissy and Mike, well done.
Yeah.
And happy birthday to my mom and stepdad.
Oh.
Excellent. It's also happy birthday to Nathan Ehrman, which is
Oh.
yeah. I saw that on Facebook.
Nice.
He's having a free
his
dance
birthday
party
today?
at the new Movement Theater tonight at 11:30.
Aw.
Yeah,
There
sweet.
you go.
As long
That's
as
a
it's
birthday
sweat,
thing.
you can't get that hair messed up.
If we forgot any birthdays, don't forget to call 412-440-7468 and tell us what terrible people we are for not knowing you.
Yeah, I said,
can't believe it.
I just
Start with
gave my
that.
mom a happy birthday, so we've already won. We're good.
Oh
We're
yeah,
good.
sure.
Your moms.
Moms.
This is the time of the show when we get to do some toasts. I'm going to do a little round robin.com. What would you like to toast this week?
Oh dear. I'm just going to keep it simple and to all our good friends.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm proud of my friend network, and I know a lot of brilliant and amazing people, and
Aw.
Excellent.
I love them all.
Excellent.
Yay.
Adam?
I am unprepared. Can you come back to me?
Dylan.
I gotta give this one to my mom's because she loves vodka just as much as I do.
Oh, the
Sure.
moms.
Oh no! And she posts on Facebook every fucking day how much she loves vodka. So
Adam, what do you think?
To Dylan's mom posting on Facebook every day about vodka. What the hell?
mom,
To,
down.
to moms.
Moms. Wouldn't be here without it.
Wait.
hey,
Probably watered down.
I think that was a little watered down.
We gotta
though.
get some ice too, so we can try some Crystal Pepsi, like big friends.
Gotta see my biscuits.
Oh, we do have an experiment, ladies and gentlemen. We have a bottle of Crystal Pepsi here, the new jam.
Marty
I
drooling.
can't see it.
I know
Yeah.
because it's clear.
Yeah.
I'm over here.
There's no other clear beverage through all of human history. This is the first.
Surely not.
Surely not. I mean, that's why there's only natural flavor at the end because clear doesn't taste like anything.
Because
Yeah.
nature isn't clear,
Muddy
guys.
Pepsi.
Right.
That's how it works.
'Cause
People.
Nature's not a science.
Over crystal years ago.
Over crystal years. Surely not.
That's a good one. That's a good
No
one.
one was alive before that.
It's made of comets and dreams.
Yeah. I mean, you can see. Actually, it's not purely clear because you can see the dreams. Oh no, it's Adam's face.
No, it's some night terrors.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's a Matrix sequel.
Should I
Take that back right now.
I
Crystal
got a fever.
Pepsi, you've gone too far. What else will our hubris cost us?
You never asked yourself if you should.
At the end of the show, I'd like to thank Billy.com for coming and hanging out with us.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for having
Well,
me.
a pleasure for us. Adam, thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet me too. Dylan, thanks for helping run the show.
Good to be here.
If you like this show, you want to know more about the show, you can go to drunkcastlive.com. That's drunkcastlive.com for ringtones and updates. You can go to facebook.com/drunkcastlive, or we're at drunkcastlive on Twitter.
For ringtones and updates.
For ringtones, and well, actually only half because 160 characters. Go to iTunes, Stitcher Store, Google Play Store, and see a thing. You might even be able to add a comment or even a star. Even if it's just one star, that's more than we have now. And then maybe tell us what you like or what you don't like. If you don't like that process of telling us or feedback, we also have a phone number, 412-440-7468. Once we figure out what the hell's going on with our switches, our surge protectors, we'll get the phone ready for your calls while we're doing it. But until then, you can text or call and leave a message.
I'm telling y'all, it's sabotage.
Questions at drunkcastlive.com as well. And anytime or really just do a Google search for Drunkcast and Live, and you're going to see...
We're going to be there.
Number one result.
Yeah. And the more popular episodes are there too, really, when it pops up. You could go check out any of the Dr. Chantal Tibble's episodes, or any of the comedians we've had on, because they're generally
More popular than
a lot
all of
fun.
us combined.
Unless it's
Yeah.
Martin Urbano. Fuck that guy.
Goddamn New York.
Goddamn New York. Leftist.
Abandonment. Can we talk about abandonment?
In next week's episode. Yeah.
Feelings about that?
But yeah, that's it.
Enjoy that rat pizza.
Yeah,
You can stop and
if the rats
frisk.
will
If the rat let you.
He left his heart in Corpus Christi.
he's got some hungry turtles to feed, you know? I mean,
Aw.
sweet. New York's full of dreams. It's for lovers. For meat lovers. But I'm Travis. I love you so much. We'll see you next week.
Lesbian zone, you get him up down. Champion zone, you get him up down. Champion zone, you get him up down. We come to let you know what the deal is.
The DARE officer was also there. Which
At
was
the party?
and he was too drunk to go get more beer, and he asked Chris, who was also drinking with him, under 21, to go to the station because he knew that
What is this place?
It's called Pearland.
Pearland.
Yeah.